Hi everybody! Me too. I love some Bowie. If it wasn't for making it loud and you wouldn't be able to hear me, I would have played it. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of cards. One that I made with the Artistically Asian, and then two other ideas that I had. I wanted to, let me see if I can show you. I got this cool, not brayer, embossing folder. And it almost looks like the metallic part of a floor. I didn't get my silver foil paper in yet because I thought that would really make it cool. But I thought of this idea, and the way I made it didn't exactly turn out what I wanted, so I kind of went with it, and I'm going to try it again another time. But what I did was I went ahead and I embossed a piece of Cajun Craze, kind of thinking it would look rusty. And then I went over it with my Versamark and then with the silver embossing powder. But it stuck a little bit more than I wanted it to. So what I did was I went back on and kind of brushed some of it off. So it still did kind of give like a rusty sort of a look. So I thought this would be a really fun Father's Day card and something different. And then I went ahead and stamped the car. And this is from the Guy Greeting stamp set. So I stamped the car in the archival black, and then I just went over it a little bit with some of the Cajun Craze. And then I stamped a World's Greatest, and then I did a father, and that is on the, I think it was 1 3/8 inch punch. So I thought what we'll do is we can finish up this card. I just kind of figured basic black would really do it well. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and I just have to score this real quick at 5 1/2. So we'll just fold this in half and just use the bone folder. And then this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. So we can put this up on dimensionals. That might make it a little more fun. And this is the other thing. So if you end up doing it and say you really didn't like it, you can always just flip it over. That way you don't waste a whole piece of paper. But I want to definitely try to do it again so I can get, my idea was to put the Versamark so it would only be on these, and then somehow get the embossing powder only on those because I thought it would look really cool. So I'm still going to try to do that, but it didn't work out quite just yet. So let's pop this up on some dimensionals. And then what we'll do is we'll finish up the rest of this card, and then I'll show you the two other cards. One of the cards that I actually made a while ago, but I never made a video for it. And that's the one that's the Artistically Asian set. So I thought we could make a different one of those. So we'll go ahead and put that panel on there. And I'm going to just put the cart on with some snail. It's rainy here today in Maryland, so it's a good card making day. No pool. Swam yesterday. Today I'm making cards. Alright, so I stamped the father in Stays On. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edge of it with just the wide tip end of the Stampin' Right marker in Cajun Craze. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down and I'm going to flick the ink. Let me make sure this is enough out of the way. That kind of gives it that splatter effect onto it, which I'm kind of embarrassed to say it took me this long to discover that. But it really kind of gives just a little bit of color, which is pretty neat. So we'll put this one up on a dimensional as well. As you can see, I used an extra piece of my old Mother's Day card there. So we'll put this up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive here on the circle part, and we'll just put this onto the card like that. Okay, let me just peel. Oh, I took the backing off. So a pretty simple card, and then, you know, I still will have to definitely put a piece of white inside of here with a little something else, but I thought that was really cool. You can make the card any color if you wanted to. You could completely color it in. You could color the windows blue. You could use, what is this, soft sky. Fill in the windows a little bit. Because the nice part is with the black, you really can tell. So that really gives it a totally different pop of color. There's so many different things that you can do to a card, even once you've done it, which really make it neat. And if the copper embossing thread was a little thicker, I would even wrap that. But I think it would get lost in this card. However, let me show you this other card that I made. This was out of an idea that's in the new Stampin' Success magazine. I thought this was really neat. And it uses the designer series paper from By the Shore. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but it has some really, really cool, let me flip this one over so you can see it, cool designs in it. And this goes with the new Seaside Shore Stampin' set. So anyway, it's got some really cool paper, some cool patterns. I love this side too. So what I did is I just cut out a piece of this. This is 3 1/4 by 4, and then I backed it onto a piece of white, and then I stamped the background. I used the same cardstock. So this is Night of Navy, and then I used the Banners for You punch set with the coordinating bunch of banners framelits, which this is so, oh, if you guys don't have this, if you don't have bundles, I used to buy things and then I would get one and get the other, and honestly it's worth the 10% discount just to get it now, because unfortunately you're most likely going to get it anyway and then you'll just pay more for it. So this one has a lot of really cool, so it's got that one that goes with it, and they completely coordinate with it. Plus you could also use it for so many different things. Like I made a stamp the other day, or card, and you could use it with all these little greetings. Even if you didn't, you just use this, you could fill 2 of them in, which, I mean, look at those 2 right there. Perfectly. Get well sooner from all of this. It couldn't work out better than that. So this one, I used, again, the designer series paper. I think I said it was called By the Shore. And then I backed it onto a piece of mint macaron. I stamped it in Night of Navy, and then I filled in the words with Calypso Coral. So, and the other thing, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, so let me bring it up close. I used the metallic thread here because it gave it a little bit of a pop of interest. So I thought that was fun. But back to the card you came to see. So this is the card I designed with the new Artistically Asian stamp set. I love this set. I really love the bamboo. I think it's super, super pretty. So what I did was I kind of just went simple on this first card. I just stamped the bamboo, and I did all of this in the Wild Wasabi, and then some of them you'll notice are darker, so I did multiple stamp off, and then I just did the lettering, or I should say the words in the background, which I think I just saw somewhere on a post that one of these means friendship and one of them means faith, but I think they're both really pretty anyway. And then I did the friendship multiplies joy and divides sorrows, and I just flagged that myself, and then I fussy cut out the flower. So I thought for this one instead, what we could use, how about if we still will stick with we'll use garden green instead. Garden green, and then what if we use, what is this? Cajun Craze. I think it'll be really pretty. So we're going to do that. So we're going to do Cajun Craze. So this should be a base. Let me see, make sure let me get all my stuff out of the way. I've been having a problem lately where I'm crafting too much and not cleaning up enough, so I'm making a horrible mess. I don't know if you guys do that as well. Let's see. Hang on one second. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So this is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. So we'll go ahead and score this at 4 1/4. And what we're going to do is we'll use a piece of Very Vanilla. So we'll go ahead and trim this down to 5 1/2. And then I'm going to just trim this directly to 4 instead of 4 1/4, since I would have to trim it up anyway. We can use the other piece for the inside eventually. And then we'll shorten this to 5 1/4. And let's get that out of the way. So now what we're going to do is we'll kind of do something similar. We're going to go with the garden green, and then I'm going to get out my garden green marker and my Cajun Craze marker. So we'll go ahead again and we will do the bamboo across. Do a little something with that. Let's see if that fits on this one. Nope. All All right, and I'm going to keep my piece of scrap in case I want to stamp off. So we'll go with Garden Green. Okay, and just one more. Okay, and then what we're going to do, so instead of using the pad, we will use the markers. And we'll use the, I guess this is a bush. I don't know. It's going to be a bush for us. So we'll use this. Let me just put this on here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the fat tip of both of our markers. And we're going to color this away from us. I find that if you color away from you, you tend to not overlap onto the color you want. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the green first. We're going to fill the green in. And then we'll go back. I'm going to be a little bit careful up here near the flowers. And we'll fill this in. Okay, let me just get this little teeny stem here. Okay, and then we're going to fill in with Cajun Craze. And if you have a tad bit of green, it probably will blend. You won't even really notice it, but again, going out generally prevents it from bleeding onto your flowers. So going away from you, so swiping away from you. Okay, so let's see what this looks. I'm going to give it a huff. And we're just going to place this down here. Okay, now what we're going to do is, let's see, thanks for always being there for me. That's a good one. And we're going to do this in black so it pops. Right here. And I'm going to just stamp this, continue to keep all this on the same card, but I'm going to go up here towards the top. Perfect. And the other thing, I think I'm going to take my marker again, fat end of the marker, and I'm going to just, you can do this with your stamp pad or with your marker, and I'm just going to go around the edge just to give a little bit of definition on the edge of the card. Not to really color it as you would with a sponge, but just to give it a little bit of detail. It isn't very easy to see, but it is on the background, so you will see this much more in person. And if you don't like it, you can always turn your tip in, which is going to give you a fatter line versus a skinny line. So if you want a very skinny line, you're going to put your tip down. If you want a fatter line, you use the fatter barrel and you point it in towards your card. Just like that. Okay. And let's see, let me grab, what did I say? Where was our cardstock? Here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just put this here, but that's pretty. And this, you could even use this for the inside if you wanted to, but what I think we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of this thread. But I feared that that's going to get lost. So instead, let's use the black. So I have the black metallic thread as well. So we're going to just, I do keep the tape on this after I use it because I find that otherwise it totally unjumbles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of snail right across here. Okay, and just unwind this a little bit. And I'm going to just wrap this around the bottom of the card. Doesn't have to be neat, as a matter of fact. It's so thin. Probably if it's a little bit messy and overlapping, it really shows up better. Alright, we're going to keep it right there. Let me just snip this off. And we will put this up on dimensionals on the back of the card. This will also help to keep it in place down here at the bottom, the dimensionals. 3, 4, 5. Sorry, whenever I remove dimensionals on camera, I swear it takes me 3 times as long as if I do it when nobody's here. Does that happen to anybody else, or is it just me? Okay. Now the other thing you can do when we decide to fill this in, we can put this on the inside here, and let me just trim this up real quick. 4 by 5 1/4. is you can put this inside. And I do still recommend doing this before you really get down and dirty, because you can always flip it if you screw it up. You can put these two little pieces in. These are really, really cute. Let me see if I can find my small block. So we'll just do these. Probably should have done this on the left side because I believe they read left to right. So let's just be correct when we do it, and we'll put it on the other side. They meaning Asian people, and I didn't mean that as a terrible generalization if that just came out that way, as opposed to us wacky Americans. Okay, we'll put this one here and this one here. And then what we'll do is, where's our bamboo? We're going to put our bamboo in this on the inside one final time. And okay, get this out of the way. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stamp this off once just so it's a little bit lighter. Pretty. Okay. All right. That's perfect. That gives you enough room so you can write your greeting. Let's put some adhesive here. Put this on the inside. And there you have it. So, let me know your thoughts on this card. Would love to hear them. I'd have to give this one more little fold down. Okay, and there you go. So there's that one. Again, that was Garden Green, and then this one I used Melon Mambo and Wild Wasabi, and then this was the other card. And what did I do with my Father's Day card? Here it is. This was the Father's Day card as well. So if you guys have any questions, thank you very much. Feel free to shoot me an email. Did I see your comment earlier? I don't think so. Thank you very much. Did you comment on the blog, on WordPress, or on YouTube? Still typing. That's the thing about this. It's crazy when you get used to seeing people type. Here. No, I didn't. I'm going to have to look on there. I actually didn't realize that you had to hit a button to make the comments work. So that's why every time I've done this, I haven't had anybody talking to me, but I didn't realize I needed to push the button. No, I didn't see your comment on the card. I'll have to go back and look in the beginning. But I hope that you guys like these cards, and there's a lot more information on the YouTube site, Rachthestamper, if you want to follow me. And if you want to follow me on WordPress, I'm rachthestamper.wordpress.com, Rachthestamper on Pinterest. And I hope you guys like this card. If you have any suggestions or any ideas, feel free to leave me a comment on any of those. And I would love to make a card that you guys decide to make. All 4 of you that are watching, if you decide you want me to make a specific card, just let me know. And if I have the stamp set, if it's old or new, it doesn't matter. I do have a lot of older stamp sets as well. And I love using older products. I love using things that people maybe haven't thought of using in a while. So, you know, feel free to leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for taking time to watch and giving me hearts and leaving comments. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.